Hello! Welcome back to Comics and Cold Ones. I'm JP, and as always, I'm joined by Pope G. What's shaking? What's shaking, brother? You're shaking.
I'm shaking. The whole world is shaking.
It is.
Oh
I
yeah.
prefer it shaken, not stirred.
All right, all right.
I'm more of a martini kind of guy.
The
Don't,
martini.
don't they shake martinis? I mean, I think they shake martinis.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I've had like one my whole life, so I guess I'm not really a martini guy. I lied.
To be honest, I could have been like a martini guy. Uh, it's funny. I remember the first martini I had because I was like, I'm not gonna drink no fucking upsetty. like, I'm not a fucking bougie person, but my drummer was a tattoo artist, and his boss. I was just hanging out at the tattoo shop, and his boss was like, "You want to go get a drink?" And I was like, "Yeah." So there was like this martini lounge right across the street in downtown Wilmington, and we went in there, and I was like, we're all tatted up, like in this martini lounge, and I'm like, and like he's like, "Have you ever had a martini?" And I was like, "No," and he was like, "Then you gotta have one." So like he bought me a dirty martini, and I have to say, I'm not a big olive fan, but like I have to say it tasted pretty good.
The one I had, I literally got it for the olive. I was like, what kind of drink can I get that has food in it? I'm kind of hungry, so I'll have that drink with an olive. They're like a martini. I'm like, sure. And I was like, oh, this is not a good idea, but thanks for the olive. Yeah, but I am joined tonight with a nice cold one for those keeping score at home. He's got a beer. I got a beer. We all got a beer. Don't fear, there's beer here.
Buzz Kong says, "My drummer was a tattoo artist." This is a very common phrase. I mean, technically, I should say that like I'm not in a band anymore, and he is still a tattoo artist. He's a
Right.
very good artist. I guess the way I kind of sounded, it did sound like he doesn't tattoo anymore.
Well, you did say was a tattoo artist, so that makes
Yeah,
it past tense. So
yeah, yeah.
busted.
I mean, I am an English major, you know.
Yeah. I see you're rocking a Superman shirt.
Yeah.
That's very uncharacteristic of you.
Well, like it's that's
It's your what?
my jammy jam.
Your your pajamas?
Yeah.
Haha, nice.
Like this is the only like it's all beat up anyway, so I'm just like, meh.
Huh. I'm more of a not a pajama kind of guy.
Well, like I wear well, since you guys want to know, I know that's what everybody's like burning question in their mind.
Yeah, it is now.
Like, Sean, what do you wear when you go to sleep? Like, well,
Nothing. That's what I was thinking. He's free, free balling. That's how I see it, for real.
what's up, Hazel Dan? No,
Hazel Dan. What's up?
Hazel Dan.
Man, what a week for them. Good times at the Hazel Dan household.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah,
There should always be good times at the Hazel Dan household.
yeah, I think there is mostly. Occasionally, sporadically, all the time. Well, what have you been up to this week, brother?
Uh, we're starting a build, and we got all of our stuff for our theater set, and so Monday we're gonna start building the structures of everything. So hopefully we'll get it up and done in time.
Right. What's this program going to be?
It's gonna be lacage.
Not familiar. I fail in the cultured life that I don't live.
That you don't live.
Yeah.
Well, you're succeeding at it. You're doing a very good job.
I'm doing a great job of failing at it. Thank you.
Hey,
Appreciate that much.
you gotta be good at something, right?
So, I have had a crazy week myself, but we're here. It's Friday night, and we're live on YouTube having some cold drinks and conversation, and hopefully some people hanging out with us, um, you know, in the chat, that sort of thing. Talk about some culling of the comics, which I think is a
The
fantastic.
culling.
I actually looked up the definition of the word because I was like, like it's more about killing animals than anything. So I was like,
Yeah,
eh, yeah,
yeah,
eh, maybe it'll work, maybe not.
yeah. Every
We'll
time I
find
heard
out.
the word culling, it was in some sort of horror-esque scenario or religious thing of where like we gotta like thin the herd and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think there's an actual new comic called The Culling, correct?
yeah,
Yeah. So I've been contemplating reading that one because it sounds like something I'd like, you know, to read occasionally. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna cull some comics. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about how to go about culling your collection.
yes.
Sean's gonna do it live. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
gonna do it right now. Like with every single book I have, you're gonna every single one. I'm gonna tell you the story of where I got it, why I got it, and
Yep.
why I may either cull it or
Keep it. Cull
yeah.
it or keep it. That's what we call this segment. Cull it or keep it.
Definitely not blast it or stash it.
Nope, definitely not.
Nope.
Those guys still do a show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think they've like I catch them every once in a while, and I think they do it like maybe once a month,
Oh, okay.
maybe twice a month now. But I mean,
So they're on our schedule then.
yeah, like it's probably more along the same lines of, hey, you want to do a show? Like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Yeah. Those are a group of good guys though. If you haven't checked them out, I would recommend checking them out. They're good people.
Oh yeah,
I've had run-ins or dealings with all of them in that group, and they're all cool people. I had dinner with some of them and met some of them in Chicago, and they're all good people.
oh yeah. I've always enjoyed watching the blast it and stash it. Like, and there was always good humor going on. Uh, and Spider Grandpa is
Is,
is a favorite amongst
does he
YouTubers.
does he still have like a crazy Funko Pop collection?
Oh yeah, like his like he's got one I think that could rival like a lot of collectors. Like he's
Yeah.
got Funkos out the Funko.
Well, I have one Funko. That's it. Still got it from last Christmas. Elsa Bloodstone.
Elsa Bloodstone.
When my Secret Santa sent me a toy that I don't collect, but I kept it because it's also Bloodstone, and
Yeah.
that was a thoughtful gift, regardless of collecting toys or not. But or Funko Pops, are they considered toys at this point?
Uh
Figures, maybe.
yeah, I'd say more collectible because like I don't even know if they're like really like made to play with, I guess.
Right. They don't. Excuse me. They don't do anything but bobble their heads, right?
Well, some of them just are just like statuesque. Because I
Oh,
want
I
to
gotcha.
say only, I think only the Marvel ones have the bobbleheads on them.
I gotcha.
I could be wrong. We
Or
should
bobble.
we should we should ask Spider Grandpa or Tat.
Well, Tat would know.
Oh yeah, most
That's for
definitely.
sure. Um, yeah, I just never really got into it, which is probably for the best, honestly, because we all know collecting is almost like an addiction, right? It's
Oh
not
yeah,
like,
it's
I mean, it can be a problem for some, like I was like, I don't know if it was you and I talking. No, it wasn't you and I talking. It was me and someone else talking. Maybe it was Hazel Dan. I don't know. I was just thinking about like, during the like 2018, 2019, when like all of our friends in the community were just having terrible things happen to their personal lives, you know. And I mean, seriously though, like it was like bam, 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 you know. And I was like, oh my gosh, like is collecting comics like a curse? Is this like,
Yeah,
you
it
know? Is
is.
it, uh, so, anyways, I just was like, man, did the collecting world brought down all these marriages? Like it's, you know. But I mean, we don't, truthfully, we don't know people outside of, you know, we don't know them in their real life, right? Like, so I can only speculate. Like for myself, was comic books a problem? Um, well, it probably was, you know, but it wasn't all the problem, you know, like, and that's the whole thing. Like it, anything that you're investing time and money into, and it takes precedence over other people or things that are more important in your life, and it becomes an addiction, then of course it's going to affect people. But you know, I don't think that at the end of the day, comic books are the real problem because, you know, if someone goes into a relationship with you and is like, "You collect comic books, huh?" And you're like, "Yeah, I do." And then later they're like, "Oh, I can't believe you collect comic books." I'm like, "Well, I pretty much laid it out there for you. Like, this is this is the world I live in.
Yeah, tell me how you really feel about that.
You know, like, don't be surprised. You know, like if you meet someone at a bar and they turn out to be an alcoholic. I mean, really, you're shocked. Like,
Yeah, you
okay,
met me at a fucking Comic Con. Like,
yeah,
what?
exactly. What were you there doing, lunchbox?
Exactly.
So I just find that stuff humorous because, like, you know, because I doubt that most collectors, male or female, started collecting after they got married, right? Like I doubt that was the thing. Like it's usually something you do for a lifetime, right? Or you get into it later in life or whatever. But for me, I've always had comic books. Like I may not have collected all of those times, but I've always had some. You know,
Yeah.
like even if it's just like a random Deadpool cover or something, I always had them. Um, it's probably why this title tonight for me was me going through short boxes this week, and I'm like, man, I really have a whole bunch of nonsense, like just hodgepodgey crap. But I think I've always collected hodgepodgey crap. You know, like that's literally how I've always like collected things. It's never been runs or things of that nature. So I just like pick and choose what I want to have, and I think for me over the last year, where I've gotten more themed stuff, you know, like
Uh-huh.
I've really stuck with my themes, which is kind of unusual for me because I'm pretty much like I'm ADHD, man. I bounce around all over the place. Like that's just true. That's truly who I am. Like, you know, I can't sit still, and my brain's going blah blah blah. Ooh, squirrel. Oh yeah, look at this book. Oh, look at this book. You know, like it's like, oh, variant. Oh, this is cool. So it's really hard to like hone in on something and focus on something. And the fact that I've done this for the past year with, you know, let's just say bubblegum covers, you know, and my friends, you know, you of course, and Tat and Hazel Dan and anyone else who's sent me bubblegum covers over the past year, you know, it's nice because it's like it keeps me going even when I may not be actively looking for something. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I don't have that one. That's cool. Um, so it also because I think ultimately what I want to do with my comic wall, as I've been thinking about this, is I'm going to do my themes. I want to do my bathtub covers. I want to do my bubblegum covers, and that's going to be my wall. I don't have big books or grail books or anything like that. You know, like I just want to do my themes. Sorry, I went on a rant there.
That's okay. No, I mean that makes sense. I mean, like for me, you know, like that's kind of weird because I started collecting comic books, you know, because I discovered Wolverine, you know, which bled into the X-Men, and so I started comic book runs with like Marvel Comics presents Wolverine and like the new X-Men that came out, the Jim Lee in the '90s, and I started like grabbing like Uncanny X-Men like back issues and stuff.
Yeah,
And then I just started collecting like in the '90s, like that current Uncanny X-Men run as well. And so like I do have like a decent run of Wolverine and of X-Men, but like but then like I stopped collecting and then it's just been kind of like, here or there. Like I just pick up maybe one or two comics and that's it. But then when I got to college, like I know I told the story 1,000 times, but like I saw a kid wearing that Red Lantern
Oh,
shirt,
yep.
and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And they're like, "This is the Red Lantern Corps," and I was like, "What?" And so that got me interested in comics. So I went to a comic book store, and I was like, you know, everything come back to me. I was like, "I love this," and so I started collecting like new books, and I fell in love with Image again because, you know, Image started coming out with like horror shit, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." Uh, so and
Yeah.
now, oh, go ahead.
No, the horror stuff, it just made me think of that. Like I love horror comics. Like I don't know why. Like I'm not like a huge horror fan. Well, I mean, I guess I am. I wouldn't be reading freaking horror books, right? But anyways, it just made me think of that. Like there's been so many great indie horror titles.
Hmm.
If you want to go all the way back to Walking Dead when it first came out, like that was like a phenomenal zombie book, right? Like it was, people loved it.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, but now, like I kind of like backed off a lot of the mainstream stuff, and like to me, and like it's kind of hard to like say no to Kickstarter books because like there's so so many awesome covers, and there's so many good artists like doing all these different books, and it's just kind of like, man, I gotta stop. And then
Oh
like,
gosh,
you
it's so
know,
hard though.
and hell, but like, it's weird that this this show's particularly talking about Culling books, and like before we even got on, I started talking about like I bought some stuff from Midtown, like Bad Donuts had a fucking awesome sale, like a 50% off sale or something like that, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting in on that. And then like Unknown Comics had an awesome sale, and I was
Well, the
like,
good news about that, you'll get them. You'll get them for Christmas.
yeah, I know. But I mean, like,
Oh, surprise! I forgot I bought these for me back in September.
yeah, but the discount was so good for the books I was after. I was just I was like, I can wait.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
wait for Kickstarter books.
Well, that was what I was gonna say about Kickstarter. Is I was kind of going through the stuff, like, oh, this finally came in. It's like I still have so many outstanding Kickstarters that I'm just waiting for. Like, hopefully someday, like it'd be cool to. I mean, I know that's part of the deal is being patient, right?
Uh-huh.
And you forget about them, but sometimes, like for example, this is not a Kickstarter book, but this literally happened this week, so I can speak to it. Oh, maybe in a minute I'll find it. But anyways, the Kickstarter thing is I check the list all the time to make sure that people are fulfilling their orders because I've supported some Kickstarters I learned the other day 4 years ago and it still hasn't shipped. I'm
That's
like, holy
crazy.
crap! How long does it take you to make a freaking graphic novel, dude?
Oh man.
I mean, you got all these people who already gave their money, which whatever, but it's just it's just wild. Like how the heck do you not have the freaking whatever the means to get it done?
Yeah.
Oh, did I show any books last time? No, I definitely got this one since then. Never mind. I know this is new. Um, but anyways, um, there was a book that I had pre-ordered back in say June, and it was supposed to release. No, I pre-ordered it in May. It was supposed to come out in June, and then I was just going through my eBay lists.
Hold on. Can I guess what it is?
Sure.
By any do you already have it, or is
Yeah,
it?
I have it.
Okay, then it's not the same book.
No, you probably wouldn't guess this one. I don't know where I put it, so I'm gonna try and find it before this night is. Oh, found it. So, anyways, this is a Pierre Luigi Abendanza cover that I had pre-ordered. It's a Zenoscope book, obviously, but I had pre-ordered it in May. It's supposed to come out in June, and I finally realized I haven't received it. So I emailed the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I got one copy left. I guess that's yours." I'm like, "Okay." You
I'm
know,
guessing this one was yours. Yeah.
yeah. So it's another Babe with the Blade cover, but I paid for the thing. It's mine. So um,
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm a big fan of his work. If you guys don't know that already, if you follow me on Instagram, he always comments on every one of my posts, so I appreciate that. He's a cool dude. He's over in, I believe, Italy. Um, anyways, I think that his work is phenomenal, and at some point, he's going to be one of those artists that people are going to be clamoring for. So if you haven't checked out E-Man Tony, I'll try and put his link somewhere in here, but on Instagram, he's always sharing artwork from the same guy. Like, we both follow the same artist kind of thing. Like, we have very similar taste. But Abendanza is, I think he's one of those up and comers. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's just good. But right now they do all these Zenoscope covers, which is fine. Whatever. I have no problem with Zenoscope books. By all means, knock yourself out. There's only so many Babes with Blades I can purchase, but
It was funny because I was talking to Mary about that, about your different collections, and I was just like, because me and my wife, I was telling her about like what I'm doing, going through my comic books and stuff, and I was like, yeah, he can't collect every single one with a blade,
right.
I was like, because that'd be like me having to collect like almost every other like Aquaman book.
Yeah, with the sharks.
Yeah, like I can't,
For
like
sure.
it's not gonna happen. And it's like you said, like with Jubilee, like her trademark is like blowing a bubble. So I was just kind of like, meh.
Well, when it comes to her, I really am selective with the Jubilee covers because it is got like it is kind of her thing. And even Harley Quinn, to an extent, they've been putting more bubblegum with Harley Quinn, which
Yeah, they have.
it makes sense. I mean, those certain characters that they are, but I love the obscure like that. Oh my gosh, the DC one where she's blowing a bubble at the grave. Like
Oh yeah.
it's almost kind of like so nonchalant in such a strange scenario. And I like that more because it's like she's totally at peace with herself, chewing bubblegum, sitting on someone's grave. That's kind of weird.
You talk about the Robin cover,
Yeah.
or she's just like, "Hey, Robin, what's up?"
Yeah, I'm trying to think of her name. It escapes me off the top of my head, but regardless, here's another cover with her, same character, right? That was just a badass bubblegum cover. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, no, I know nothing about this character, but I'm kind of intrigued because she clearly don't give a shit about anything but blowing bubbles. But anyways, I just like the obscure. Like, I don't know if I showed this one last time or not, but that's the most recent Jubilee bubblegum cover. It's like a family portrait, and she's blowing a bubble in the background. So it's it's cute, but it's not like it's just, again, you can almost find a Jubilee bubblegum cover anytime you go to the shop. So it's not like it's impactful, I guess, or whatever. But when I was going through the collection this week, and I was just like, man, like, I need to really make some decisions on some of my ridiculous collection because, I have a short box that's like all my gift books, essentially, that you've sent me, Tony sent me, Hazel Ann sent me, Tat. Like, I keep them all separate. So I know, like, these are gifts, because sometimes I get the same books that I, like you guys, we double dip, right? So I'm like, oh, well, I'll take my copy and see if I can flip that into something else I need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what I do. For certain things, I mean, some stuff is not really worth my time, but for some stuff, I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep my gift book, and whatever. But anyways, this week I was just flipping through, and I'm like, dude, you really need to hone your ass in. Like, this is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Between all my Something Is Killing the Children covers and now World Tree covers. Uh, I can't, you can't collect everything. We can try, but
Yeah, but sometimes you want to though.
you do. And I'm obviously I've been on we have been on the Kickstarter train for years. Like I remember going back a long time ago on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
We had some crazy good stuff that's been out over the years on Kickstarter. So that really became my collecting habits for the past couple of years, was just Kickstarter books. You know, Dan
Man,
Mendoza.
I was about to say that one of my biggest pushes of checking out a lot of stuff on Kickstarter was Dan Mendoza.
Yeah, for me it was him and the Lady Death.
Yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
stuff. So I mean, there's some sneaky, hard to find stuff from Kickstarter over the years because no one's, and still, I mean, I hear more and more channels talking about Kickstarter, like because it's becoming more, people are becoming more aware. So obviously, you're going to have more eyes on something, right? So I've noticed that certain books don't sell as well as they used to or as fast as they used to,
Uh-huh.
because people are just kind of like, whatever. And I don't know how many covers you can have of Shikari. Like his work is fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's not hugely diverse. It's always like something like this. You know, Amazing detail. His ladies look almost real. You know, Throw in the nude variant that he always does, and I think that more people are gravitating towards the nude covers. That's probably a shocker to so many.
Yeah. Oh no.
What? Nude cover? But that hasn't that has always been a thing in comics that people may not realize. The underground nude cover scene, like that's been around for a long time. You know, Anything risque. I mean, what was it? Well, hell, it was Zombie Tramp when it was with Action Lab, right? They always did
Yeah.
a nude cover and a
Mhm.
regular cover. That was a big thing. So a lot of people made their bread and butter on nude covers. And I always did this. I do the same thing with the Kickstarter, right? I've said it a million times, but my whole point was purchase the set, flip the nude, keep the regular, and you pay for itself. And
Yeah.
you're not out anything, right? That's the hard thing is like for you and even Hazel Dan is like actually flipping the other book. Because you typically collect things. It's really not, you're not looking to sell stuff or whatever. So, you know, but that's where culling the collection comes into.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that because I mean, I have bought sets so I could flip those books, but like I haven't really been a big eBayer. I've been always a buyer off eBay, but not like I've never really sold anything. In fact, anything that I did sell, I think I had my mom put it on eBay
She
because I
did
just
what?
did. I had my mom put the stuff that I actually did sell on eBay, and that was like a long time ago. Because I don't want to. I just didn't want to deal with the hassle. I was just like, just throw this on eBay, and
Yeah, and it is a hassle. Anyone who's looking to sell on eBay, I mean, I've done it so long, like with cards and comics over the like however many years I've been doing it. So it's like routine for me, but it is a pain in the ass. So like sit down, take pictures, list, figure out auction or buy it now or blah blah blah. Packing and shipping. There's no fun in packing and shipping. None. No fun. But someone's got to do it. I mean,
yeah.
obviously, people are selling comics all the time, right? I mean, you just watch Instagram or YouTube or whatnot. I haven't been on whatnot in forever.
The only time I've been on whatnot was when you had like
Yeah,
when you
when I
did. I just want.
tried to do my first live sale. Oh my gosh, that was such a debacle. Like, oh my goodness, I didn't even try again after that. I was like, oh, this is rigged or something. I don't understand it. So I'm not gonna participate. They send me an email like every couple of weeks. Can we get your feedback? I'm like, no, I'm good. The last thing I got on whatnot was that. Yeah, so did I, Hazel Dan. There's that Kanto set that I got her or them last year or whatever because it was a Whatnot exclusive, and we're all like, we're not supporting Whatnot, but I knew that they wanted that book, so I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'll
You're like,
play the
no.
devil's advocate, because that's just there's so many cool things that Hazel Dan and I talk about, with Archie comics, but they always seem to be supported by like shady characters, like that mellow yellow fellow or whatever. I just can't support that dude. I just not it's not for me. Um, anyways, that's neither here nor there. I just made a stand that Whatnot is no longer part of my shopping apps. Like it's just not going to happen.
Well, it's funny that you say that. We're talking about like places you're not going to go for anymore. Like fucking Frankie's was like, buy stuff, free shipping, no minimum. I was like, no, like
Are they back in business?
absolutely not.
Are they
Like,
back in business?
I don't know. Like from the look of that email, like they called it a Super Bowl sale. Yeah.
In February?
Hold on, let me see if I don't know if I even deleted it yet.
Oh,
Actually,
was it recent?
yeah, like I just got it in my mail like today,
Man,
I think.
all I want to know is if Nikki still works there.
God damn, like it's funny, but I actually have a file that says "fuck Frankie," fucking Frankie,
I'm not surprised.
and like there's this
That
like,
says it all. Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to.
Y'all want to see my sweet shirt? It's pretty sweet. But that means I'd have to stand up, and what if I don't have pants on? How weird would that be?
Yeah, so Frankie's is having a comic sale, free shipping. Sale ends on Sunday night. No code required.
No code required. Oh, that's nice. They're nice like that. Appreciate you, Frankies. You guys are always good people, especially to you, Nikki.
God damn. Like that bitch pissed me off so bad.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like I don't under. I mean, I worked for a comic shop back in the day. Okay, now granted, it wasn't an online comic shop; it was a brick and mortar comic shop. But I've done eBay for years. Like years. And you know how many people I've pissed off over those years? Zero. Zero people have I pissed off because you take care of people, right? You do. Okay, you're not happy with something, or shit gets lost, you respond right away, you take care of the problem. And I can't imagine that they were shooting out that many orders per day that it was just like, oh, we can't keep up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, okay, I don't know. I just find it hard to believe. Like, and obviously, I mean, it wasn't just them. You look at all these other places that are folding up now because of shady practices, or hey, we got to send all your books to CGC. Dot dot dot. Sorta.
Sort of. I know a big thing with like online stores now is that like, and that's like a thing I learned from Frankie's, but like they're like, because I was talking to another, I'm like, I'm just asking what's up with my order status, you know? I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying, like, it's
Yeah.
been 2 weeks. Is my stuff going to be sent out? And, like, I mean, this lady, I think it was like 616. She was nice. She was just like, oh, so and so's at a Comic Con. And when they get back, they're going to, like, you know, send out, like, everybody's orders or whatever. So I was like, I understand that. Like, because usually big comic stores, like online comic stores, have to have like their local con,
Yeah. For
their
sure.
presence has to be there. But then like fucking Frankie's, she was like, "Oh, they're at a con," and I was like, "I don't care." I was like, "Can you?" I'm just asking about my fucking status of my books. It's
Right.
like, can you just get on your little computer thing? She's like, no, like they're the ones that like go through the orders and stuff. And I was like, so you don't have like this crazy system on your computer that like will let you know if my if my shit has been sent or not? Like,
Well, it's really interesting when you start. And I understand most of these are just small businesses. They're not like you know the midtowns of the world. But I tell you, one, oh my gosh, I every time I see one of their emails or every time I see something that's really cool and it comes right back to them, I just hang my head and say, "Dang it, that'd be comic exposure." Oh my gosh, I cannot handle those people. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Oh man, they're. I assume they're. Well, I know they're online, but they do all the exclusives. I mean, they're big, right? They're up there as far as exposure goes. But
Uh,
anyways, I ordered a book from them in February. It is now September. They will not respond to anything. So I was given a lead that another YouTube individual is friends with them. So I messaged that individual, and sure enough, he was able to get in contact and figure out where my book is. I'm still waiting for the solution because it wasn't like it was a pre-order. It wasn't. It was just literally a regular old book that they had in their backstock, and I wanted it at that time back in February for whatever ADHD moment I was having. I'm sure it's a Babe with the Blade cover or something to that effect, but still haven't got it yet. So I don't know. Maybe I'll touch base. It's been a week since I spoke to him last.
By the time you get it, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna cull it anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
mean, well,
good.
I honestly, if they were to offer me a refund for the order, I'd be fine with that too. It's like, I don't care at this point, but I want something for my investment. Like I gave them money, I got nothing in return, so they owe me either some money or the item I purchased. So I'll probably reach out to him tonight after the show again before I go to bed. Like, hello, darkness, my old friend. And he's like, oh shit, it's you again. Like, it's me again. Where is my white widow? And it's one of those titles.
Where is it?
Yeah, it's not even something that's like super important or valuable. It's just whatever. But I guess I don't know, through the process of culling is like how do people, and I'm curious, maybe people in the chat can chime in if they want, but like, where do you find the best practices as far as like how do you decide what you're going to keep and what you're going to cull? Because I think that's the challenge, right? And I think we all have our own different ways. But again, for me, I was really happy seeing the themes that I've stuck with over the past year. Yes, I have a hodgepodge where I went off rails, but I'm not perfect, people. I'm not perfect. So, anyways, I was just going through and I was like, okay, what do you really collect? What do you really need in your collection? These are all just things anyways. They're not something we need in general, but what do I want my collection to look like? And I really enjoy the bubblegum covers, obviously. And I really enjoy the bathtub covers. I really enjoy the sound of that beer as well. And I realize that I have a small collection of copper tone covers, and that's where I have a lot of opportunity there because I love those covers. You know? And I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I forgot I had this book." And I was like, "Oh, look at this chick, she's butt naked." Like,
I don't know why it's so funny. Like, what's that people think buck naked? Buck
what'd you say?
naked.
What'd you say?
Buck naked.
Butt naked or buck naked?
Buck naked.
Like with a K?
Buck naked.
Oh man, that's weird. It's butt naked. Do you get butt naked or buck naked? Like what's the difference? Are you a deer?
No, it just always sounds like the like the southern drawl, like the strong, like backwoods trailer always sounds like it's buck naked.
Well, I've always thought it was butt naked, so I guess we have to have a debate here in the chat and see if anyone else is.
No, you're not understanding. Like there's not a debate. It is butt naked.
It's butt naked or buck naked?
But
Okay.
I'm just saying. I just said butt because that's like in the South. It's butt
Okay.
naked.
Okay. So it is butt naked. It's just. But I hear yeah, I don't know. I could have swore you were saying like buck.
Because that's what it always sounds like when I said like that girl's butt naked.
Well, I know it's a Southern thing, right? And maybe that's my problem. Is growing up in the South, I always had to pronunciate better than my family. So, you know, I just always thought it was butt naked. So later on, we're gonna get butt naked.
I know.
See, I
Yeah.
know, I know it's a thing. Like, oh my gosh.
That's
Well,
why people come to listen to us to find
yeah,
out the truth about like
we we
we drive into the real hard truths that everybody want to know.
we're here to get to the bottom of these age long questions, right?
Who cares about X Files? Like, we'll find the truth.
Absolutely, the truth is out there. But I don't even know. Like sometimes I show covers on Instagram, but like I don't think I've ever shown this butt naked cover. And I have
That
another
girl,
butt naked cover coming in.
that
That's
girl's butt naked.
but I dig the copper tone covers, man. Like they're cute, kind of wholesome, kind of sexy, maybe. I don't know. Like this one's a tough one to get for cheap.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Little Witchblade 131. This one's kind of obscure. You don't see a lot of it, but I thought it was kind of cool. I think I got it like super cheap. I mean, it's a Thunderbolts book. No one's buying Thunderbolts. And I got the one that I showed on Instagram. I know you were a big fan of Florida, so yeah, that's fun. Um, and then of course the one you showed last week, I got my own copy there, the flip book.
Nice, nice.
So, but that's all I have for Coppertone, and I'm like, man, I think I need more Coppertone in my collection. So right now I'm sticking with three solid themes. We got bubblegums, Coppertones, and bathtubs.
Well, there's definitely some Coppertone books coming out soon.
Really? Well, I
Yeah.
know Josh Burns did some with Red Sonja and whoever else he drew. Um, so
Yeah. Who am I? You're on top of it. You know, you know what you're doing.
what do you mean?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was Josh Burns like covers that I was looking at.
Yeah, and I mean they're nice. I do like the Coppertone stuff, and it's not like there's a ton of it out there, so it's not that super hard to get. But
Mm-hmm.
I I don't think I've showed this. Did I show you this Red Sonja Jenny Frison book?
No.
I just got this in, so I don't think I've shown it. So yeah, it's a nice. I mean, Jenny Frison does really good work. So if you're into Jenny Frison, you can get these pretty cheap. So again, what's the point of this? I don't really have a Jenny Frison collection, but I saw it. It's a Babe with the Blade, so it fits into that thing. But so is every flipping cover of Red Sonja. So, again, you can't collect. I mean, you can, but it's pointless to collect every cover with a chick with a sword. That the whole series is a chick with a sword.
I know, right?
It's just babes with blades, right? It's just crazy.
In fact, that's what I was telling my wife. That was the example I used was Red Sonja. Actually, I was
Yeah.
like if he collected every sword cover, like Babe with a Blade, like he'd have every Sonja. Like,
for real, literally everyone.
no, but I mean, it's like what I plan on doing. Like I know I told you guys before, I'm going. I have a lot of collection, and going through this collection, I started there. I do have like a long box, and I've been putting some books in there that like I know I'm definitely like, why is this in my collection? Like it just. that I have no idea why I have. Like, but then that I do come across some books. It's like for instance, why do I have like 12 copies of the first appearance of like the Lady Dragon?
Because you can.
And plus, it's just like I think a lot of it's just me like in dollar bins, and I'm like, oh, this is a key book. This is a key book, and
Well,
then I'm telling myself like it's a key book, and it's only for like $1, so I just grab them.
yeah, I mean the dollar thing really is the game changer, really, because you can um, I mean, how how can you pass up on a book like that for $1? Honestly, like you're like, yeah, it's $1. You know,
I think that's where like a lot of my shit come from. Like there was books that like I was collecting the runs from, and then there's some like that I quit collecting because Green Lantern started to suck, and and like um like, and I was pissed off because they discontinued Sinestro's run, and I was like, all right.
screw you guys, I'm going home.
And then like I was into the Lucifer run, but then like it just got dumb, and so I don't know, I just like I don't know, I hate it when like a good series is going and then they just like either cancel it even though it's doing good, or they just like, nah, the writer's strike is real.
The writer strike is real. Is that still going on?
I believe so.
Huh. I thought it would be over by now.
We'll find out on the next season of Mandalorian.
Oh my gosh. And for those of you keeping track at home with Jubilee covers and bubblegum, here's another one. XBN 92. Yeah. Oh, wait. Wolverine with Jubilee on the cover and bubblegum.
Oh,
You have that one? Do you collect bubblegum covers, Bo?
I have a few. I wonder if it's just like a deep seated thing because like I collected copper tone covers, and for some reason like I would grab a bubblegum cover.
Well, I think it's aesthetically appealing. You know,
Yeah,
like it's something about the innocent nature of blowing a bubble. Like it's something we all did as a kid, right? We enjoyed it. So seeing that in like a serious like, oh, here we go. I'm about to. This is a horror comic, but she's got time for blowing a bubble gum, blowing a bubble. I love this cover, by the way. This is one of my favorite bubblegum covers. It just seems so out of place. She's texting. She's a super. I think Hazel Dan told me that was Mary Marvel,
yeah.
because I was like, I thought it was something else, Donna Troy or something. I don't know what I thought it was, but regardless, I was wrong. But I enjoy that cover because I think it's like almost like innocent. You know, she's like, oh, I guess I got to do superhero stuff. I guess,
I guess so.
you know, after I blow this bubble,
Yeah, after I pop this bubble, I might.
and I think the allure for me with bathtub covers, for example, is almost like, I don't know if it's like sexy, like if that's you know, like this bathtub cover, is that sexy? She's like, oh no, don't shoot me while I'm naked in a bathtub.
You don't want to join me in the steamy hot bath?
But I'm a trigger happy baby. So I don't know. Like I'm trying to like psychoanalyze myself apparently. Um, so, Mr. Price, why do you collect these things?
Yes.
Hmm? Were you malnourished as a child? Were you left alone in an abandoned building for days on end? And that's why you have a fascination with bathtubs?
Yes.
You spent
Yes.
half your life living in a bathtub? with nothing but oatmeal.
Just nothing but oatmeal.
They don't have
Please,
oatmeal
sir,
covers.
can I have some more?
I would collect oatmeal covers if they had those. uh, it's very important if you meet a man that eats oatmeal. Keep that in mind, ladies. Keep that in mind.
You know, like I was hoping Bad Avenger would make an appearance in the chat
Yeah,
because, like, I know he's talked about culling his books or, you know, I think I have a lot of books, and then like he did the tour of his like his room where he keeps most of his books, and it's just like, oh my god, like,
his grandma.
huh?
You say his grandmother?
No, like where he keeps his books, like his
Oh,
like at the tour of his room, like he's got, man, it's like Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they go to like put the ark away, and there's like all the fucking crates and shit.
I would love to see your room someday, like your actual comic collection. I mean, it's gonna be massive, right? Like, you ever watch Don, the comic book junkie?
Yeah,
Like, he's got a crazy collection. Um, I love his like. Don's funny. He's just a funny guy, but his collection is like him. That and his horror movie collection. Holy shit! Like that dude's got some stuff. What's up, Tat? How are you today, sir? Good to see you in the chat. No, no one's feeling that tone. Whatevs. But yeah, I think for me, like for example, I like Street Fighter, so I'm like, hey, I should pick up some Street Fighter books. You know,
don't do it.
I
Don't do
know, but I do it, and then I get this stuff, and it's like, oh, maybe I should start a foot collection.
it.
But feet are so freaking weird and creepy to me that I just don't even want to look at that book. I love that character. She's one of my favorite characters. I love Jury, but no, I don't like feet, and it's like right in my face.
I'm waiting for Hazel Dan to say something.
Yeah, she's watching. She's thinking, sure, JP, sure you don't like feet. I've seen what you look at on the internet late at night when the kids are sleeping. It ain't feet. It ain't feet.
It ain't feet.
No, thank you. But yeah, I just like, like, do you collect certain artists? See?
I knew it.
Like, it's okay if you want to collect like certain artists, but then after a while that gets boring because if you have enough books of a particular artist, you'll realize that they kind of draw the same character, like the same face, the same body style, and it's like, oh, this is boring now. Like, how many different art germs do you really need? Like, how
Yeah,
many,
that.
you know?
Yeah, and it's not taken away from like how fantastic of an artist he is, but like
No, not at
you
all.
look at like his like Supergirl, and then like compare that to like the Catwoman or the like Poison Ivy, and it's just kind of like, uh-huh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's the industry that just runs these artists into the ground kind of thing, or forcing it down people's throat, like, because that's how it always goes, right? As soon
Mhm.
as an artist gets a little bit of traction with the fans, all of a sudden they're like on every book, you
Yeah,
know. It's like, okay, like to me, art germs. My favorite art germ will always be that Batman 12 or whatever, Batgirl 12. I don't know.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like that to me is like that was prime art germ. That was that was a good. It's a beautiful book. So, but anyways, I wasn't really coming to, or I wasn't intending to like talk about artists or anything. I was just thinking like the different way that people collect. Like, do you have themes? Like Tat seems to collect a lot of runs. When he talks about his books, he
yeah,
like seems to collect runs. Um, so it's just interesting. Like, how do where do you draw the line on enough's enough, or switching gears into I no longer want to collect feet books because
Are you putting your foot down?
Yeah, putting my foot down here, guys. My social standard has been uh, not accepted by the comic community of feet fetish. Uh, but regardless, I just it's. I think the like you going back to the point you made earlier, though. I think a lot of it is. Oh, I can show this. Um, is that a lot of it comes down to it's too much work. It's too much work to cull your collection. Unless you just go and hey, what's up, Joe? Drop shit off at like a bookstore or something, right? Or a Goodwill or something. Like, what do people do? Like, you know, you know.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I just keep looking at like all these like boxes of books that I have, and it's just kind of like I'm so close now. Like I think I maybe have like 10 more boxes to go through.
What do you mean by go through? What are you doing with it when you go through it?
Um, I'm putting them in Mylar,
Of course you are.
and then I'm pricing them, and so my wife can know that if anything ever happens to me, that she'll have an idea
Oh, sure.
of the price of this book. Like like if it has you know, like some of these things you could sell cheaper, but like this particular book you cannot sell cheaper.
Right.
Like,
Well,
but,
that was kind of the reason I wanted to CGC everything in my collection that I'm keeping, like
yeah.
just so because I feel that slab books are much easier to move,
Hmm.
like as far as selling, because obviously when I die, my kids or whoever my future spouse is will be like, oh my gosh, he left us all this weird shit. What do we do with it?
What
Oh
do I
my
do with
gosh,
all these feet
like
covers?
what the heck? He really did have a foot fetish. Oh my goodness, he lied to me for 17 years.
No, like she knows that like my slab books,
Sure.
like but I told her I was like, I have stuff ranging from anything from like a maybe $1 to like like $100 or whatever, depending on what it is.
Just let her know that your Green Lantern and Sinestro collection is all 25 cents.
Yeah, I told her. She knows.
That's funny. I did get another book in this week. It was a pre-order for Battle Chasers number 10, the Bird City.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I
This
know.
is, this is the Virgin cover for those people that like to collect virgins
Huh?
and not just in the afterlife.
Yeah, I love that homage cover.
Yeah, this really good. The only thing I really don't love about it is her face, but that's just me.
She has a face.
Yeah, turns out she does. But still, Ariel Diaz did that cover for those keeping track at home. If you like Ariel Diaz, she'll be at the Cowtown show in whatever part of Texas that show is coming up. And Lauren Wright's going to be there as well. I saw she posted that. Lauren Wright is a great artist in her own right.
And Hazel Dan is asking, are we culling our collection? And if so, is there a reason? Is it because space issues or to get something else?
Both for me, actually. So the answer to all that is yes, for me. So my ultimate, I guess I'm going to take this first. Sorry, I didn't even ask, but um, obviously, I want to do the wall. Like everyone's aware, I want to do the comic wall. But I don't really have room to have like boxes of comics around my house. And I'm not going to get a storage unit to waste money on that. Not going to. It doesn't make sense. So ultimately, what I would like to do, and Hazel Dan and I have been talking, but there's a new product coming out. It's actually on Kickstarter, but it's called the Comic Canvas.
I don't think I've ever heard
I
of
think
that.
there he is. You all right, dude?
Yeah. I can't tell if you're freezing or I'm freezing. Which one of us is frozen? Did JP freeze again? Is this the Pope G show again?
Hopefully. Hey, we're back.
Okay. I was like, I was
That
like,
was weird.
am I doing the Pope G show?
Well,
I don't.
there was no Pope, there was no me. It was like blank. But, anyways, welcome back. So, Comic Canvas reached out to me yesterday, and we had a small conversation. And apparently, they're on Kickstarter right now doing their launch. And I'm really considering it because I'm like, that might be a lot easier for what I'm trying to do for my walls versus building these shelves into the wall. I do like the idea of the do-it-yourself stuff because I enjoy doing that, but I also think for simplicity's sake, I think it'd hold like 24 books. You hang it on your wall, and it's got plastic, almost like mylar sleeves.
Uh-huh.
Think of like baseball card binders, except
Oh, I've seen them. Is it where you can put one on either
yes,
side and you can like flip it and turn
yep,
it around? Yeah.
yep. So I was thinking about doing that for simplicity's sake, and obviously moving it. I'm not moving anytime soon. Obviously, I'm pretty much anchored here. So that being said, I don't know. I think it would be okay to do that here, but at the same time, I like the idea of top loaders sliding in and out of a rail. But you know, it'd be kind of interesting because with my themes that I want to hang on the wall, it might make more sense to get a couple of those canvases and just hang them up here, hang them up wherever I want to hang them. Um, but yeah, that's something I got to figure out with myself. Me and me got to figure this out. But anyways, check them out if you haven't already. If you're into that stuff, Comic Canvas. I know, right, Tab? That's what I'm saying. I'm so torn between simplicity, or just building it myself, like I build everything else. So I don't know. I have to think about this and figure it out. It seems like a cool product, though. Regardless, I mean, I'm not getting a paid ad here or anything. I'm just telling you guys it's a cool product. Like, it may not be for everything. Wish, I mean, if they want to give me a kickback and give me a free sample, that's fine too. I'll take it. I'll throw it up on my wall, give you a nice display, show the comic canvas stuttered there. But anyways, 24 books at a time is pretty good. So I don't know. Time will tell. I got to get this figured out though sooner than later. But as far as reasoning, space is a big thing for me. But for me, honestly, is like I just don't like the hodgepodge of my collection. I don't. I like having a theme, right? You can go through, oh, he likes something that's killing the children. Obvious. Oh, he likes this because it's a horror book. Obvious. But half my stuff is not obvious. Why do you have an Elvira book? No reason to have an Elvira book. But I have a bathtub cover Elvira book.
Yeah, you do.
So, things like that make sense to me. I even have, because of Hazel Dan, I blame them for everything. JP, you should check out Pulps. JP, they make some really cool bathtub covers in Pulps, JP. JP, we're going to go ahead and send you a starter kit.
A starter kit.
I mean, what a nice bathtub cover, right? Like that's a cool ass book. I don't understand. I mean, I do understand. It's amazing. But, shout out to Hazel Dan for getting me the starter book for bathtub covers in pulp size from 1946. Yes, they had bathtubs in 1946. Who knew? But I don't know. I just think that when it comes to like, what was your reasoning for considering culling your collection?
Like I think it revolves around the same thing with you. Like, but I mean, space is definitely a big thing for me, and like like I said, I've gotten to the point where I have so many of these like I said and like going through dollar bins like I I just that book is just sitting there. I probably have like 8 copies of that damn thing, and it's just like, but it's a key book in a dollar bin, and like I feel like I'm committing a sin if I don't like grab that book out of there.
That's fair.
So like it's like so I just grab it, and like part of me's thinking I was like, well, I could flip it later in the future, and it's like I mean, because part of it is an investment, but I'm thinking at this point in time, like I have so much that I need to like organize and like categorize everything that I have, like because like I have the app where you can because every time I price something like I put it in, I log it in to the
Like
like
CLZ,
yeah, CLZ app. And
also not a paid sponsorship.
yeah, I know, right? So and plus
We
that
do it
also
all for
helps
free right here on Comics and Culling.
all for free right here on Comics and Cold
Advertise.
Ones.
There we go. Internet's getting a little wonky again. It's because we're over an hour. That's why. They're like, these guys talk way too much. Let's shut the internet off.
Yeah, it's probably a new YouTube fucking rule, probably.
Who knows? Like, I don't have a problem until literally it's like right around the hour mark. It starts getting weird.
It's like, no, no more. But yeah, I mean that's basically for me. Like I just have so much shit, and like to be honest, it's a combination of me like just grabbing books, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, and then like it's just in my collection, and I'm not, whatever, you know, because sometimes part of collecting is just like trying out a book, and then like if it sucks, I mean, you just put it in the
Yeah,
box
yeah.
and it just sits there. Uh, and then like that's another thing
Then
going through here
you
because
create your
I
own
pull,
dollar.
yeah, I've already pulled yeah, some books, and I'm like, why the fuck like do I still have this? Like I just don't need it.
Yeah, it's tough. Like deciding what is important to your collection, right? I think that's a better word. You don't need it, you want it, but what is important to how you collect now versus, you know, like do you have collecting goals like for your collection? Like, is there something that you have in mind every time you go into the LCS or go to unknowncomics.com?
Like, well, I mean, like for right now, like I'm really liking the Sadowski's tattooed like books. Like those are
Yeah,
awesome. Like
but
I
that
like
that could that could
like
be a
that.
theme too, though, right? Like you could tattoo covers, like that can be a theme, you know?
Yeah. So I mean that really appealed to me, and so I got those. And but to be honest, like I just look up like basically I just scan through until I see something if I like it or don't like it. And then sometimes I'll see a cover, I'm just like, oh shit, like I have to get that. And then like it's do I really have to get that? Or and that's another thing, can I not just be like, oh, that's a really awesome cover? But like I don't have to have it. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it doesn't really like it doesn't like go to like a theme in my collection. It's just like a really nice book to have. But it's like
One of the things that bothers me or I struggle with because I don't know if it's a mentality. It's definitely a mentality. But let's just take this book here. Okay. This book cost me $2, legitimately. Dude had an opening bid of $2, so I put a $2 bid in and got the book. I was surprised that he shipped it, honestly, but whatever, right? The There's a 1 in 50 of this cover, exact same cover, without, it's a virgin, but it's like $50, $60 for the same art. And I really struggle with that because I'm like, why would I pay $50 for the same art when you can get that for $2? And it's literally the same art, minus it says Red Sonja on it. But because we get the mentality, but it's a 1 in 50. It's so much more limited because they took the freaking words off of it. Like that really bugs me. They did it with the Adam Hughes cover recently. And I'm like, oh, that Virgin cover does look good. But it's like, no, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Why pay $100 for this when you can get it for $4.99?
Yeah,
It doesn't
I'm
make
with
the
you on that.
it doesn't make the art less appealing. I mean, it's just I don't understand like falling into that trap. Like because in the mind you think, oh, it's more limited. I guess I don't know. Makes my
Well, I
collection
mean,
less
like,
more.
yeah, I was gonna say there's a new She-Hulk cover that's gonna be coming out soon that looks badass, and like
She-Hulk.
I actually think the trade looks 100 times better than the Virgin cover.
There's more and more like that. I mean, I agree. Like sometimes the trade dress is nice. Like especially if it's subtle. Like a lot of the DC covers are subtle.
Uh huh.
They almost have that like very small trade dress now. So I'll have to check it out. She-Hulk, huh? Do you know who did the cover?
I want to say it might have been Adam Hughes. I'm not sure.
Really?
Actually, like
Actually, what?
I was just gonna say I could probably look it up because usually I don't like looking up shit when I if I'm using my computer. But since I'm using my phone,
Yeah. What's up, Tacoma? How you doing, sir? Well, I'm the opposite of Annie Oakley, and I can say no. I have to say no.
you have to.
Otherwise, my collecting is out the door because I can't say yes to everything. Unless I want to, and then I'll be broke forever. Oh my goodness gracious, man. There's some really cool Sabrina covers out there right now too. That I like that. Oh my gosh, who did the cover? Sahad Shah. Who did the Sabrina Zatanna cover?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like I still have my Sabrina collection. Like it's just crazy. Like how many different rabbit holes I get stuck going down and trying to like crawl myself out and be like a good boy. And it's like,
Like a good boy. I'm
you
trying to
know,
be good. I can't.
I can't. Like I'm just like, oh, I want everything, but we can't have everything. But we can try, Daddy.
My computer doesn't want to being
I
stupid.
agree with you, Hazel Dan. Broke forever. Tacoma, you're not wrong. Like I'm with you to an extent, but sometimes I get caught in the virgin trap. You know, sometimes I just want to have 72 virgin covers. You're chilling with your plantar fasciitis. That sounds awful. I hope it goes away quickly because I know that stuff can be a lingering nightmare. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's a real pain in the foot.
A real pain in the foot.
It is. Ask Tacoma, he knows. I'm thankful that I've never had it, but I've known people who have, so it does suck. Uh, but, anyways, we're going to have to wrap it up here in a few minutes, fellow.
All right.
After we talk about She Hulk.
No, we can forget about She-Hulk because it's like my computer's being stupid.
Well, you know what we don't like? Stupid computers, okay? This is the age of modern, smart technology. So you're going to take your computer out with a baseball bat and dance.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because like a few weeks ago, my computer, when I was like booting it up or whatever, and like it's running its virus scan and shit, was like your computer is old. Like it's like I was just like, fuck you. Like you just wanted me to spend like a couple $1,000. Like I just have it laying around or something.
Right. Yeah. Well, I promise you, it's in boxes behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
To the left, to the right, everything in sight.
I mean, I guess I could like probably do like a
Room tour live here with Pope G.
yeah. So
This is
like
Pope G crib.
there's like all this stuff over here.
Is all the black stuff crates?
Yeah, those are all boxes.
Oh my gosh, that's comics?
Yeah.
And those totes as well?
Yes.
I see your diplomas on
Well,
the
no,
floor.
no, 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 not in the totes. The totes
Okay.
like the other things, but like you could see that they're like stacked behind each other.
Yeah, I see that.
And then you want to guess what's in that closet?
Comics, I know that. I
Yeah.
remember that.
More
I
of
do
them.
remember that. I see that you took your diploma off the wall for wall art. That's nice. He's like, I need room for this original art. Go ahead and take this diploma down. Doesn't matter. I got a job. We're good. I got to put up the artwork by Tom. What was his name? What's your guy?
Tim Spavero.
Tim Severo. My bad, not Tom. Sorry, Tim. My bad.
Oh, that's all good.
He's not watching. We're good.
I was gonna say, he's probably not watching.
Probably not. But anyways, you got anything else you would like to say before we wrap it up tonight? Always.
Does anybody want to buy some comic books?
Yeah, I can believe that, sir. I can believe that. Mine, not so much. But little by little, bit by bit, it'll be different. But anyways, I hope that everyone has a good weekend, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in, watching with us, commiserating with us, listening to our nonsense as usual, and all the knowledge that we give you guys. It doesn't always pertain to comics, but it's knowledge nonetheless.
Buck naked.
Butt naked.
Buck naked.
Butt naked.
Buck naked.
We all butt naked tonight. Get you one, Tat. There's a bunch available.
We all came into this world buck naked.
Yeah, we did. I'm going to leave it butt naked as well.
We come in buck and leave out butt.
Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate your time, and we'll catch you probably in 2 weeks. Yeah, hopefully. Till then, take care now. Bye.